if you have any insights, or if your guides or who you are speaking to have any insights of what's going on in New Jersey and other states. There are thousands of sightings right now. They're speaking about drones, others are speaking about UAPs, but they're speaking about like drones that are massive. Like I heard
Yeah,
somebody you say they're big like cars, and
yeah.
I don't know what to believe, but I'm curious. I just feel like this is sort of aligned with what my guests like you are saying, that disclosure is coming. So I'm super fascinated.
Yeah, you know what? I actually got chills when you said it that way. Okay. Because I know I just went off like for the last 20, 30 minutes going blah, blah,
That's
blah, blah, blah,
okay.
blah, blah, blah,
I
blah,
asked
blah.
you to.
Oh, but this is a perfect example of what I'm trying to explain in words. When we as consciousness beings, okay, and I really stress this because we are going to realize we're not human beings, we're consciousness beings, okay? When we as consciousness beings start to rise in our frequencies, everything is energy, everything is frequency, everything is vibration. And why I'm saying it that way is because one of the greatest scientists to ever exist about and understood this was Tesla. And Tesla knew that we were all frequency, energy, and vibration. Okay. And so and by the way, for anybody who loves Einstein, he was a great one too. So I'm not just saying that Tesla was, but when we this has been measured, okay, this has been measured around the world, that as we start to become more self-aware, okay, the energy of our planet starts to rise, okay, and it's been rising for a long time now. So what does this have to do with drones? So as it rises, okay, everything in this universe, we'll call it, I call it a game because it is a game, but everything in this universe has everything to do with frequency. Everything. Our bodies are our bodies because of certain frequencies, okay? So the law of the universe is that nothing can happen from a manifestation standpoint unless here's you and here's the thing that you desire. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about law of attraction. You go, well, wait a minute, we're talking about drones here. I'm going to get there. Okay, so when you are here and you desire something here, because you usually don't desire something bad, you usually desire something good, okay? So that's going to always have a higher frequency. So you cannot get this if you're here, okay? If you're in heavy energy of negativity, hate, and whatever, so you're here. So if you have to raise your consciousness, what did I just say about this whole 2025 thing? You're going to start becoming more aware, meaning that your consciousness individually and as a planet starts to rise. Okay. So what happens when it starts to rise relative to UFOs or drones or whatever they call them now these days? I don't even know what they call this.
UAPs.
UAPs. Yeah, I mean, you told me this earlier, and I'm going, "What's a UAP? What?" I mean, they come up with new names. Okay, so what happens is that energy is here. Okay, that energy is here, and we're here as a human race. But guess what's been happening? Even though there's been a lot of negativity, remember, a lot of negativity can cause people to become more aware, and it's a much harder path, but they can become more aware. What do they become aware of? What they desire more, okay? But I'm telling you, it's a lot easier to do a positive approach instead of negative. Okay, so you go like this. So your energy starts to go like this. And here's the energy of the drones and the UFOs and the UAPs, okay? It's here. And we're starting to come up like this. And now we're starting to match it, okay? What happens is that now we're going to start to see things that we couldn't see before. People, and I've been saying this for a year now, people, when people, what is this big reveal? Is the government going to show us stuff? Is this, who are all these secrets going to come out? No, nobody's going to show you anything. You're going to show yourself. You're going to see it. You're going to it's going to become part of your reality. Okay. So all of a sudden, our energies are rising high enough now that these drones, they've been there all the time. All the UFOs, they've been there all the time. We've heard other people talk about they're constantly watching us, okay? But they're not watching us for evil, okay? They're observing because they're here to help us raise our consciousness, okay? And so now, and people go, well, why can't we all see them? Why is it just a few people that see them, okay? And so we question whether or not they exist. But now what happens is that we're going to start to see very strange things, okay? I've heard things about people seeing things out in the ocean, like boats and stuff, that they don't seem to be moving or anything like that. I mean, there's all these other things, these anomalies, these phenomenon things. Now the big ones are the drones. Those drones have been here for a long time. Okay, we just could not see them because our frequency wasn't high enough. As our frequency keeps going higher, it's not just drones that we're going to see more. I've been saying this for a year now. Next year, we will start to see more activity with UFOs or UAPs or whatever you want to call them, ABCs, whatever. Okay. Seriously, you're going. I'm glad I made you laugh. Okay, you're going to start to see them. You're going to start to experience. You're not only going to start to see them. Here's the interesting thing. Okay, it's not just that people are seeing it. Okay, this is the same thing that happened last spring with the solar eclipse. Something inside of you, is telling you something is happening here. I don't know what it is, but something's. You can feel it. That people are going, whoa, this is something. I knew this was going to happen. I knew that was something strange was going. And so a lot of people are really interested. Why? Because deep down inside in their consciousness, they know this is going to happen. It's just a matter of time now. And the more they do that, their consciousness rises even faster. And when it does that, all sorts of different things are going to happen. I'm going to give you another example. It's not as big as the drones right now, but the drones are nothing compared to what's going to start to come into our visual existence. But have you noticed how in the last 5 years, maybe 3 years, really, and maybe even shorter than that, people are seeing more discoveries of old ancient civilizations and things that weren't here 10 years ago are popping up everywhere all over the world. Now, for a lot of your viewers, maybe they're not aware of that, but now they will because I just mentioned it. But there is so many new civilizations with beautiful, beautiful discoveries. We never
Mm.
talked about them 5 years ago.
Just want to jump in. What I love is that like big companies like Netflix is actually focusing on the afterlife,
Yes,
psychic,
that's
ancient sites. Like it's taken seriously, and I love that.
yeah. Thank you. You're making my point. Okay, this is starting to become part of our consciousness as a
Mm,
planet.
mm,
And why I say consciousness again is because you, me, everybody that's listening here, and all these other people, we are all connected. We are really, really all connected. Okay. And so now it's starting to filter into the consciousness, into the programming of the entire game. So, yeah, like Netflix is they're talking about all sorts of stuff. They're talking about, they're even talking about things like alchemy and things that used to be maybe a little bit too much, like maybe people would like go, that's all black magic and all negative stuff. But they're starting to talk and have shows, a lot of shows about things that in the past would have been
mm,
accepted as evil things, and they're showing that it's not evil. It's just an expansion of consciousness into magic, just pure magic.
mm,
Magical things are really more acceptable now, not
mm,
just in kids shows, like the magician who pulls a bunny out of a hat. I mean, serious magic. So when you ask me, how do I receive this information? Telepathically. And that's a natural part of our evolution that we go. And this is why I said empathy is going to be a big deal going forward, because as we start to feel into ourselves we start to feel into others, the natural progression is going to be for humanity to start telepathically communicating with each other in a very emotional way, so that it's here and here. Remember, I said that these two work together, okay? You're going to naturally start to feel these voices talking to you in a way that makes complete sense, and you're going to start to feel into each other more. So everything I do is telepathically, and that's usually what happens when people channel, is that they learn how to remember that they always had this ability, but their frequency wasn't high enough. Now it's rising high enough that all of these abilities, these talents, they're coming online. This is a big deal. Coming online next year. And so the drones are just the beginning of what people are going to see, because they're starting to see things that they didn't see things. The reason they see things, we think it's because of our eyes. We're not seeing it because of our eyes. We're seeing it because our consciousness is rising, and we're tapping into our sixth senses to be able to see something that has always been there. We just didn't know how to do it because our energies weren't high enough.
To watch the full video, click the link below, and I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel.